To nail down your strategy.
We're getting started.
We're a new final, new people. Oh, God.
All right, guys.
Oh, I was gonna swear.
Here we go. ESL, Erotic Solitude Legends going up against 55 HP Monks. Erotic Solitude Legends spawning over here on the red side. 55 HP Monks spawning on the blue side. The gate is opened up, so Jebro, let's order maps and check out those splits.
Oh, Little Red already being very, very, very aggressive. We see Giovanna and also Leon going straight over. They're just going straight over to Henge again, which is what they did in the last time we saw them coming here. They're trying to get a lot of damage down on the warrior from 55 HP Monks. I'm just going to call him Jin. And Naya's come back as well, and Shad is also there as well. He's just having a look on the thief, who's down to about 10% or so HP, but he did the right thing. He moved away. He knew that potentially that wasn't going to work, and now he's going to move to mid.
He unfortunately was not able to get completely away there, as we saw Shad coming in there. Coming in, Guiletta is going to get knocked out there. Going back up to the mid fight itself, though we can see the 55 HP Monks has started to make significant progress on this node too. They do have a pretty decent cap going for them. They've left Cam as well as Blueberry over here on the middle node itself, going up against Milo as well as Misha, in addition to Shad being over here too. Kaon is getting very low, but they're still holding on pretty nicely here, but as you can see, health pools are starting to get very low. Back over here at the Henge too, we can see that we still have Elvini holding on quite nicely for the time being, but overall their health pools are starting to wane down a little bit. As we see though, they do have that slight advantage, mainly though because of the fact that they were able to cap their home node without much contention, so blue team does win these two node fights on mid as well as Henge, then they are going to be able to come back into this and start to push their lead ahead for themselves.
Oh, the thief from Red's now pushed in as well. Did I just see that? I just completely
No, he's here.
No, he is. Good.
Naya is very low here as well, so we may still see Erotic Solitude Legends come back into this. Ginny invented the Hambo. He's getting very low over here, and apologies, I keep calling him Ginny. Apparently he doesn't want me to call him that, so apologies.
No,
is what I've been meaning to say, but when players run different character names, I just, call them by their character name. But anyway, Naya's still alive over here, but you can see Naya's very low. You will not there completely avoiding killing him. We will see the Spirit Ray is coming off here right now from that. Naya will now come in as well to get some more cleave off onto Eternal, and I think that was a big mistake. They're not going for the DPS down on the Naya to knock him out. With that, 55 HMX will be getting control of their own home node, but at the same time, Red Team's still been holding mine this whole time. They've been able to claim about a 40-point lead. At the same time, though, nice portal coming out there for Misha. They were able to get right back into mid, and they're already taking people down. Blueberry went into the downstate as well as Kaom there, so it is going to be seeing 55 HMX taking the 2 gap now, and they will start to push themselves ahead back towards a lead. As we open up our map, we can see Red Team going for a regroup right now. They're going to get themselves back together over here. More than likely, I think they'll rush in towards Spawner over here, eliminate him real quick, do the same thing that Blue Team is doing at the moment in order to keep their lead going a little bit. They're actually going to send Guilera de Leon a little bit over here to the Henge, I think, just to try and get some harassment started over there. They're actually going to bypass the boss, though, as you can see. Eternal, along with Ilvinia, are making their way up around the back. Now the question is, will they go for middle, or will they wrap up around the boss? And as we can see, they're going to wrap up onto the middle and get some pressure going in there. Currently only Karsib is here in the middle node itself. They've gotten a little bit of the decap process off as well. More fears going on the Karsib as they're going to try to knock him off the node. As for the timing, though, it's just DPS currently trying to take him out of the game. And again, though, as we're seeing Karsib getting absolutely massacred here in the middle, he's getting very low indeed. Was forced to pop his Signet of Rage, though, and that did cleanse all of his condies. But again, he's coming back in here with the Hambo, but absolutely wrecking house at the moment and trying to hold on to this point in favor of 55 HP Monks. Now, while we did see Erotic Solitude Legends getting the good engagement off here onto the middle, we have now seen ESL come back into this, and they are making progress. Eternal, for instance, they're already eating through the dash run. Now, we did have Karsip going into the downstate. Not much cleave was available to come off there, just due to the fact that Red Team was otherwise busy with retreating and trying to get peels off onto their teammates. So for the time being, I do think that ESL does, or apologies, that 55H Monks does have the advantage of this team fight. As well, they have once again backcapped over here, taking the node away from Erotic Solitude Legends, but Guiletta is now attempting to take that back. Shad will come in here and attempt to stop that, though. As again, though, Guiletta diving back in on the Shad. Guiletta doing a nice job of evading this stuff, though. But as we see, too, we're going to watch and see as Shad will start to retreat away from this.
Did you see that?
Yeah, just got that there, but I think you might. I'm just having a look at this, folks. It's quite interesting to see Leon's like, just go.
Nicely done by Shad. Shad definitely showing his stuff against Guiletta. Going in there with the damage. Going to be taking him out, and that will be Cheese Mode, possibly taking a 3 cap. Now, as we go in here, Ginny, or rather, otherwise known as Karsib, is getting very low in middle as Red Team tries their best to make some progress over here, but needless to say, Blue Team is holding on quite nicely for the time being. Red Team members are starting to get a bit low, too. We did see Karsib going down, and he is going to get stomped out. That'll be some process made by our friends over here on ESL, over here in the middle now, as they try to take back this middle point and then take back the game. But, again, we do see 55 HM Monks ahead by about 100 points now. It's currently 107 to 208 with 3 points held in favor for 55 HM Monks at the moment.
What? You know what? I think the main thing is, I mean, they've got the free cap out here. They're doing really well at countering. They're doing the way they're countering the thief is to actually just keep going for the close. They just keep. They're solid on these points. Like Shad's just moving around well, and Leon's just losing these fights against Shad as well. And Naya's back now supporting Shad. They're supporting each other really well when the thief's in these fights. He's dying a lot.
So ESL keeps trying to juke 55 HE Monks. We just saw the portal play there coming out from Misha, and that did sort of waste a lot of time. As I think what ESL mainly relies on here is sort of juking the enemies, making them think they're going for one point when in reality they're actually going for the other. Just like sort of like feign engagements and whatnot, like that sort of tactic. However, as we saw there, 55 HE Monks has done a nice job getting around that, mainly through Misha, because they had the portal there, and that actually just made them change their mind like 3 to 4 times. Now, while they did get the decap, we still see Cheese Mode holding on to the other 2 nodes over here now, and they definitely are making a stronger case for the fight, because back here at middle, too, they still have a contestant, and it's 2v2, and while ESO may take control of this, like I've been saying, they still hold control of those other nodes. Now, back over here, we can see, too, that Eternal is under slightly bit of pressure, which means that 55 HE Monks does have the engagement advantage for the time being, but Naya is actually fairly low over here as well. Naya actually did get the ultimate spirit out, so we'll be able to come back in here having a lot of passive regen. Has her ultimate heal ready to go too, but is going to get engaged on by Guiletta now. Will Guiletta be able to take Naya down? Even if they do, we did see the spirit popping off the ultimate there. Got taken down. Unfortunately, now they just got to watch out for Cleave going onto the spirit here in case they accidentally kill it. Elvinia coming in for the stomp right now, and then Naya that will connect now, and we may be seeing blue team taking control, or apologies, red team taking control of the mine. They only need 1 or 2 more ticks here. They just got to get these remaining members of 55 HE Monks off the node. But now Eternal will go on. Shadow Reach nicely done there, coming out there from Guiletta. They're going to try their best to get Eternal back up, but again, there's so much Cleave coming in for 55 HE Monks right now, but that's not going to stop them. They'll get Eternal back up, and they'll keep this fight going. Back in the mid, too, we can see it's stalemated, and probably will stay that way for quite some time. So for the time being, we do still have 55 HE Monks pushing their way ahead, but red team is slowly getting control of this node, and now that the reinforcements will be coming into middle, they may be able to take control of that, too. But needless to say, as we can see from the scoreboard, 55 HE Monks has taken a pretty hefty advantage in countering ESL's early strategy here. They are up by about, actually over 200 points now, so we definitely are going to have to see ESL make a pretty aggressive comeback if they want to end up taking this game at the end here.
I think what 55 HP Monks have completely changed. It feels like to me as a team in the last month. They're all over the map. They're doing so well, and they're doing it better than ESO at the moment. They're getting around the map. They're doing a good job. And you know what? They committed to that fight, and they knew they lost it, and they started backing up. That's not what they used to do. Yeah. They did not used to do that. They would die there. They would lose the match, and that's how it would end. But these guys have got so much better. I'm so glad they've stuck at it. So glad. You
do know, too, that I don't know if this is just the map or something, but for whatever reason, this round we've seen a lot less backcapping from Guiletta, whereas like we saw that really well against Cheese Mode. They were just constantly backcapping Cheese Mode. They're not doing that here as much because they've usually got someone there defending it. So it's a lot harder to pull off, I think. And I don't know, it's just a lot. It's definitely a bigger challenge here for Erotic Solitude Legends as we came into this round now.
I think Shad's doing it before Leon's doing it.
Yeah, look, you can see they're actually going to trade side nodes right now. We saw Shad made his way over here. At the same time, we have Eternia coming over here onto the quarry, onto the henge node. So those two are just going to trade out. Now we do see Naya going down over here in middle, putting in a slight advantage for ESL at the moment, but we're unable to get that stomp off. Some of them did take a bit of damage in the process, but now it's actually looking like Guiletta may be the next one to go down. Guiletta will be able to pop that, will be able to pop the withdrawal and probably loop around the point and get some health back. But needless to say, Guiletta is pretty low here at the moment. We may see her go down off node, especially with these Connies. She needs to get on node so she can get rezzed up by teammates there. She managed to get on node, but once again, actually not. They did actually get quite a bit of healing coming off there from teammates, so she'll be okay and once again be ready to engage in just a second.
This is. Oh, I kind of want to see a Cheese Mode 55 HP Monks match as well after this. I want to see how that would go. Well, the team seems to be changing so much in the last month. It's just awesome. It's so good. It's so good. And yes, Decap Engines are awesome roll yates. They're so good. So good. But anyway, see, Leon's going back over to mine. He's actually going to get the close point back. I mean, at the moment, it's not looking too good, but you know, I mean, I can't say anything about this team. Can't say they're gonna lose because you know what? They surprised us against Cheese Mode, so you never know.
I'm not too inclined to call it just yet either here. I still think they could pull something out of the bag here, just especially based on how we saw them go up against Cheese Mode. Now, we did see over here on the big map that we saw Red Team rotating away from the mine to come over to here. Not the smartest decision because now Milo's gone on it, and Milo is gonna keep it contested for basically all of eternity until they can get someone else onto this node because Red Team has been really focused on the middle. I think Red Team could be doing a much stronger job here if they were focusing on side nodes and trying to push for those instead of mid, because I do think that 55H Monks does have them outclassed on team fights. And I think that ESL has been trying a little bit too hard to actually go for team fights this game, where they should have been trying to focus on going for bigger side node fights, where they might have been able to do a lot better, in my opinion.
I mean, maybe that's what they've done. Maybe they're thinking, oh, 55 might have watched the last match. We want to change it up and try to do something different. And, you know, and maybe that's what they've kind of gone for here. Either that or they focused so much on countering Sizer in the last match that, you know, they've just thought, oh, we'll just go back to the way we normally play. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're spot on with what you're saying. But at the same time, I mean, they seem to be putting so much pressure on them. Now they're kind of going a bit more side nodey. No, the Warriors coming back into mid as well. So Naya's down as well mid. So they could get it. It's going to be way too late.
Yeah, they could get it, but like I said, it's going to be way too late. Blue team has gone completely onto their home node at the moment. They've got someone AFKing on the node. They're rotating people over to the side nodes just to make sure they keep things contested for as long as possible. Node ESL has finally gotten control of the keep, but it just took so long to do it, and 55H was able to abuse that, go for backcaps, appropriate other people to other resources, and just keep themselves alive on those nodes, which was impressive to say the least, considering how hard ESL was pushing for that node, that it just ended up being their downfall there. They took way too long to get that node, and as we're seeing right now, it's just going to be basically impossible at this point for them to come back.
They've got it. They've got it, man.
So with that, guys, we are going to be seeing 55H Monks take the first round, putting them only one game away from winning for 2 weeks in a row now, the ESL Weekly Cup.
55. Breaking my heart, man. In a good way. So good. Nice match. GG's. Politeness, guys. This is good. I like it. Very nice. So what do you reckon? Next match? Game, sorry.
So next game, let's talk about this for a second here. One second.
Let's do about it, right?
So next match will be very interesting, to say the least, because now we've seen before the team that made Cheese Mode GG at 300 points
Yeah.
has now been outclassed by 55 HP Monks, which up until this point I think some people may have considered Cheese Mode a stronger team than 55 HP Monks. Now again, no, Cheese Mode did have a fill-in today. Not sure how badly that was affecting them, but obviously that's a thing to note. Coming into this map though, things could be a lot different, as this is really where, especially against Cheese Mode like we saw in the other game there, this is where ESL shined the best. They were constantly getting backcaps, constantly out-rotating them, constantly outclassing them in team fights. Now, I think ESL will do a much stronger job here on this map if they try to focus on side nodes a little bit more. Because I think that is their strong suit with their comp. It's just out-rotating, tricking them into moving into other places. But at the same time, like we saw with that portal play in the early towards like the early middle-ish part of the first game there, 55H Monks knows what's up. They know what they're planning. So it could work, it could not work. It really depends on how 55 HP Monks wants to react to this. For instance, like we saw there with that portal play, we know, or 55 HP Monks knows that ESL wants to try and juke so often. So they have that portal ready on nodes, and they always have people ready to fall back to those nodes to suddenly switch the fight from one node to another via use of that portal. And that's a huge advantage that 55 HP Monks has, but our Red Team ESL doesn't have that because they don't have a Mesmer. So maybe a switch out to a Mesmer could work too. But we are just about ready to go here. So we'll have to see as we go into Legacy of the Foefire how things actually go.
I think one of the people on the red team actually needs to go to bed. I think his dad's having it going. So I think he's under a bit of pressure, not only in the match, but from his family to get to bed before he gets grounded.
Mom, I can't pause the video game.
This is real life.
Mom, it's an online game. We can't pause the online game, Mom.
Last chance to nail
It's going to take
down
a few
your
generations for
5
that one to
more
sink in, I
minutes.
think.
Okay, guys, here we go. ESL Weekly Cup number 14, possibly the last game here coming out. ESL Erotic Solitude Legends versus 55 HP Monks. Gates have opened up, so Jebro, tell me about them splits.
I'm going to be telling you about the splits. Will they be going to... Ooh, looks like the Thief and the Warrior are going to be going again for the far node for red. It looks like Misha and the Thief on blue are going to be going... It looks like they're going to be going indeed for Quarry. Is the Necro going to head to mid? I think he is at the moment. He's not noticed Misha coming in. We do see Shad's probably going to take out Eternal. Oh, just popped out of stealth there. So we've got a... Oh, Misha's returned back to try and take down Eternal, so they're trying to... Oh, that's nice. Why is Eternal not going back towards the Ranger, I have no idea, but he's doing well to keep him off the point, so they have got the cap, which is very, very good.
That was the plan there. That was the plan.
Yeah,
they wanted to keep
it
him
was
off
good.
node. It was a distraction. It was a distraction so the 55H monks would be distracted over here, and we would see ESL get the cap, which they have now. So again, this is very similar to last time. They got their home node.
nice.
ESL did. 55H monks did try to counter that this time by going far, but I think that might have been a mistake because overall, when they did have that cap initially, they got them about a 50-point lead at the start of the game. Overall, it didn't make too much of a difference as we went towards the end of the game there because they were able to easily come back from that. So not sure if that was actually worth it to go on to them because as we see back over here at the mid, Naya is now under a lot of pressure. This is basically literally the same exact thing that we saw at the start of last game too. Kyan's going to be going down first over here on mid. We do see the stomp possibly coming out here over the next few seconds, but at the same time, red team is trying to get over here. We did see Shadow Features coming out. Not too much burst coming out, and they may be able to get Kaya back up as well. Naya's over here. Naya as well will get rezzed up, so both Shadow Refuges have already been used. But the thing to note here is Naya does have a Spirit out, but it's stealth, and it won't come out of stealth until the duration actually expires now. So Naya can, in theory, if a teammate goes down, and assuming the cooldown's off too, can actually get a res off. And as well, if Naya does end up going down, some accidental cleave may go off onto the Spirit and end up taking it down. So that's just a few things to note there as we go later into the game. But for the time being, it's basically the same thing we saw at the start of last game. ESL does have the lead by about 40 points due to them holding that home node, but they're holding the congestion on far node as well as contesting middle. But overall, that will make them somewhat weaker because they are spreading the resources thinner. Over here at the mid, though, as we can see, ESL should have the advantage because blue team actually rotated 2 of their people back over to their node so that they were able to take out Blueberry back over here. And we've seen Karsip doing that now. So ESL will have the cap and they will start their play on a comeback over here. But now it comes down who's going to win the mid fight. And as well, it's also going to be another question of, is Guileta going to be... Oh, apologies, hit my mic there. Is Guileta going to be, like, going for that aggressive Farcraft stuff like we saw against Cheesemo, too? And I just don't know if she is based on how well 55H was able to counter it in the last game.
I was just watching Blueberry over at Waterfall against those two guys. Held them up for so long, and the positioning is. Do you remember when we saw him against Sizer over at Quarry? And Quarry, sorry. And it was line of sighting him so well around the corner, around on little bits and pieces. Not a lot of people do that. I mean, you get people like Helsev who do that kind of over at Waterfall. You see him kind of going in and out of bits and bobs and here and there. Not many people do that line of sighting like Blueberry does over there. Oh, Yvonne just going down over at Quarry just as I'm over here. Misha just taking him down and with Shad over there, so they're going to cap the Quarry at the moment, so switch that over. But over at Waterfall, it looks like Leon had getting back to what he was supposed to be doing. He actually has gone and taken the concession over at Waterfall, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take Karsei down on his own. He might need a little bit of help over there, but no one's looking like they're going to get there anytime soon. And the mid-fight looks fairly outnumbered for Red at the moment. Karen's looking kind of on his own, unfortunately, for them.
And as we check back over here, we can see that blue team is holding on to this node. Eternal going up against not only Shad, but Milo, too. Shad getting very low. Eternal may be able to snipe him down to the downsleeve just with some Connie damage, but as well, nice counter there on those Connies coming out from Shad. Almost instantly popped his Bazzi there as the Connies were coming out from Eternal. So Shad now going to try to turn the damage back around onto Eternal, trying to take him out, but Eternal is now assisted by Ilvinia, the Spirit Ranger, so that should turn things around back in their favor. At the same time, Shad getting immobilized over here, so he may be going down if he's not careful here, walking in this AoE. A lot of Connies going on to him, and while they will take down Eternia as well, we did actually see not Shad going down, but at the same time, it wasn't enough to save Eternal there, and as such, we saw him going down. Ilvinia going to chase off node now back over to mid, as we are going to be seeing blue team taking control of 2 capture nodes now, as they will play the side cap strat against Erotic Solitude Legends.
So they're playing their strikers now. Oh, this is so good. Oh, Leon's still not down against the Warrior over at Waterfall. He's doing such a good job, but Blueberry's now rotating in quite nicely. Hopefully he's just going to keep him out of the point, get a few caps, a few ticks off there. They need to burst in. They need to get him down now. They need to get him some damage on him. They need to kill him and get him off this damn node before someone comes back, who is Naya. Naya's going to be coming down back over to Waterfall, so it's keeping less chance of them they're almost better moving to mid because it's contested. And there, because at the moment I'm not sure. There is 2 guys from Red, so it's 2v2 on the mid fight as well. There's no one at Quarry, but it looks like Ivana's going to start moving over to the Quarry as well, but Shad's on the back as well. I'm not sure how he's going to do. He's just getting onto the point. Shad's same HP at the moment. Who's going to take this fight? I'm not too sure at the moment. It's not looking too good for Shad, but he got them back up from Misha as well. These guys are getting around the map so damn quickly. He's down.
And indeed,
down already.
Nicely done there.
Awesome.
Ilvinia is down. As we check back over here to the waterfall too, we did see blue team holding on to this node. We saw Guileta getting knocked into there a few seconds ago, forcing a retreat coming out from Blueberry, who's now gone back in the middle, as red team is trying so hard to get control of that. But again, it's basically, if you're rotating really well, it's really hard to actually get back onto here on the middle node and take that back because it's legacy middle, because it's like almost twice the size of a regular capture point, and because it's so easy to reinforce it and just turtle it, it's going to be really hard for Red Team to take control of this node. And because 55 HP Monks is now holding a solid 2 cap on the side nodes, it's going to be really tough for Erotic Solitude Legends to come back into this game.
Holy 55 are playing so well, man. You can't fault them at the moment. You just can't. Like, you know, they're really doing well at keeping that midpoint contested. Fair play, and they're trying to get around the point. But HP Monks, they're just moving in. It's like Shad's over here, and he's 2v1. Who's going to come over? Like, someone's moving over now. Carsave, he's going to move on. He's going to get to the point. Probably can even take out Leon, who's either going to come up from behind, maybe. Oh, maybe I will eat my words.
As we see Shad going into the downstate here, Guiletta coming in for a stop onto Shad. Shad's going to move away from this now. Guiletta will come in, and as well, Guiletta getting knocked around a bit here by Carsave. Carsave may be able to take Guiletta into the downstate. Shad as well, getting DPS down, but now coming in for a heal. We'll see Shad jump into stealth here at the moment. Jinny Carsave will actually jump off the body there as they'll come in again to try and take Shad out. For the time being, though, Shad more than likely looking like he will get eliminated. Guiletta trying his best to DPS around this at the moment. Misha too getting Condi bombed over here at mid, so let's check out what's going on there. As we take a look at what's happening, we can see Misha taking quite a bit of damage, as Misha going to be falling back over here to the waterfall too, getting away from the mid fight.
Epic. I couldn't have been more wrong, but he's doing so well against the two guys over at Quarry. I was sorry, just had to say about Eternal. Oh, this mid-fight is still going on. Quarry is contested. Waterfall is still powerful. It's almost 200 points ahead now, 55 HP Monks. Now, Red, they need to come back into this. Can they come back? What is going to happen? Shad's now coming into Waterfall with Misha. It's not looking good for them, mate.
There is always the potential for a comeback on this map, too, because if you're able to... Right now, they won't, granted. They do need to make a stronger case for the comeback. But if they're able to get to 350 points, they could rush that Lord, and they could turn the game around real quick. But they need to get a more competitive gap between them and their opponents here. Right now, 200 points is not going to be enough in order to rush Lord as we get closer to the end of the game, as our blue team is only about 70 points away from that mark themselves. So they too could try to rush Lord if they're feeling they need to do that. So Red team really needs to start making progress. They need to get middle. You can see on the node, they're so close. They're one tick away, but 55 H Monks is just not letting them have that. In addition to that, they're not letting all 5 of their members get onto the node itself, because we see over here Carsib making his way to the quarry, just keeping pressure on that, as Carsib now makes his way back over here too. We can even see that blue team, or ESL may start to lose some of that hard worked for cap pressure back at mid, as again, they're one tick away, but now ESL just is getting absolutely decimated here at the middle, unfortunately. Naya was taken into the downstate there, but they're going to have no trouble getting him back up into the game. Other members of the red team are starting to get low. Kaon, the bunker guardian here, is going to get stomped out by Milo. Actually, no, he'll get back up and into the game there from the spirit of nature, and I believe nicely done indeed. Naya seeing that happening there is now going to apply DPS to that as well. We do see red team. Now this is the ESL we saw earlier today. We do see at the moment Blueberry again coming in here trying to get a decap off on a waterfall. Was not able to get the full decap successfully, but should still be able to take Shad into the downstate. Now, will he be able to execute the full stomp is the question there. Nice Bazzy Venom there coming out. Shad actually waited to attack with that so that he could wait until Misha was on him and prevent any sort of knockback or CC from coming off onto him while Misha was actually getting the res off onto Blueberry. So that was really well played. Guiletta is now going to be rotating over here as well to assist, as Shad was not able to get himself fully back up into the game. We even see off the node 2 Blueberry going on to Misha, trying to eliminate him from the game, as again, this decap is so close from happening, and this may allow, and with Misha being killed, this will allow ESL to get the decap over here at Waterfall. Blue team is not moving anyone else over here. In fact, Ilvinia is coming over here too, just to make sure this happens. Misha will now get stomped out, and this decap is going to be coming in from members of the red team. Back over here at the quarry, just trying to see if they've tried to retaliate with that yet. Yup, here comes Karasib. He's making his way over here to the quarry in an attempt to get that back. Ilternia is coming to follow, but will Ilternia get on the node? Yes, but at the same time, fighting against the Hambo Warrior is not going to be an optimal situation indeed, especially now with Shad incoming. Red team needs to rotate. I just don't know. They need to give up this dream at middle. It's just not going to happen. They're so close. I know they want it so bad, but they need to give it up. They have the 2 cap, and now they need to hold it. If they make any mistakes here, and as now we're seeing, they've lost Quarry with 55 H Monk going basically all in on that. Guiletta rather is going to make her way back over to the middle to try and support that, but now once again 55 H Monks can easily just rotate themselves back over here and start to apply pressure. I just don't think mid's going to happen. They need to get off this. They need to focus on side caps, and everything will be so much better for them.
They came back though. They've come
They've
back
definitely
like
come back.
by 100 points, maybe almost about a 70 or 80 points. They've come back, but they need to get back to Quarry. Oh, we see.
Guiletta's going for that. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Guiletta could go over there. You could totally get that decap. What are you doing?
Oh, what are you doing?
Guiletta going in on the Mesmer at the moment. Gonna try to knock Misha out, but again, more pressure coming onto Guiletta at the moment. Then Guiletta's actually DPSing out. Guiletta may actually be going into the downstate over the next few seconds here. There we go. Gonna get taken down by that one cap going onto there. Elvinia luckily dying next to KM as well. They'll get Guiletta back up, and Guiletta will once again re-engage over here onto Misha. Look at this. They want mid so bad. They want it so bad, but it's not gonna happen.
Just leave the
They're not
thing
gonna
alone.
get mid. It's not gonna happen. Look at this. Oh my god, they got it finally. Wow. Okay, so 55
Yes.
HP Monks finally stepped off that node. That was probably, I think that was Milo's mistake in all honesty.
I think so.
Finally stepping off that node, and now they got it. Now they need to hold on to this 2 cap, but the time bomb is ticking. 55 HP Monks is about 110 points away from taking this game. They've got that much time to come in, and they will be forced to rush Lord. So not only are they going to have to successfully defend over here at Waterfall, because that is where 55 HP Monks is switching the pressure up to now. They're going to have to rush Lord when they get to 350, because they're not going to have enough time to make a full comeback now. It's going to all come down to the Lord, and again, if they fail to defend over here at the Waterfall, they almost got the decap now. That might spell the end of the game for them. They've been rotated off the node. There is the decap now. It is not looking good for ESL.
Man, this. What? Come on! Oh no! Don't run off the midpoint! Don't run off the midpoint! You took so long to get it. Now keep it.
You know it too, because Blueberry's here.
Jesus.
They're always if they give that up, then I'll be very surprised with how hard they work to try and get that. And again,
Oh.
like let's talk about
You
this for a
take
second.
it. Oh,
That was the
points.
same issue as last game. They focused so hard on middle. They wanted it. They needed that so badly and because it took just so long to do that, that's why they ended up losing, because they focused on middle way too long, and it just ended up snowballing against their opponents in the end there. They need to not focus on that mid node so much, and I think they'll just be able to do so much better.
So, why have they changed so much? Why
don't
did
know.
they do this?
I don't
Why
know, but
is-
as we see at the moment though,
Right.
55 HP Monks is 60 points away from taking this game. Our red team friends ESL are about 60 points away from a Lord Rush range, which they will be forced to do at this point. Quarry is being defended by Milo, so there's no way in heck that's going to get decapped unless all 5 of them go for that. But with them all being engaged over here, they're trying so hard to get to that 350 range, but it's just not going to get there in time. They need the second cap, and they need not only the second cap, but they have to start rushing Lord now. 460, they're going to run out of time to actually get into the Lord itself,
Glorious
especially
start.
this is such a hard fight too, because of the fact that, as we see here, again, they can't get the decap here. They've actually left mid open. Their Thief Guiletta probably going to loop around here, as they will have sent Blueberry, who was previously defending middle, has now looped into here and is going to try to take out the gate. But back at the fight itself, like I've been saying, they gotta rush Lord, and they cannot lose middle. Here we go. They're pulling off. They see the gates going down. Now we're going to have to see 55 HP Monks, will they be able to defend again?
Eternal's just
Gate.
gone down on
Oh,
Waterfall as
oh
well.
my goodness,
This is
Eternal's
not
down.
good.
There's so much cleave going on with Eternal right now. We do see Kayan trying to come in for the res right now, but the cleave is just so much coming out from Misha, Naya, and some of the other members that are over here. Shadow Refuge coming out. They're trying. Kayan can no longer maintain himself on that. Eternal's going to get knocked out, and there goes their Condi damage in that fight. They will no longer have the Condi damage. Guys, look at the score. It's 490. This is not happening, unfortunately. So congratulations to 55 HP Monks. They have successfully defended their title here at the ESL Weekly Cup, and they once again will be the champions. So congrats to Milo, Naya, Karsiv, as well as Shad and Misha for taking this game. Only 9 points away from that Lord Rush range, unfortunately, though. But even with that, they still would have had to rush Lords. But needless to say, congrats